I have this struggle with men's work right now, and I want to share it with you. Now, I've been in the game of men's work for 10, 15 years. I started with my website, masculinitymovies.com, way back. And back then, it feels like we were young and enthusiastic. Obviously, I was younger. I was spending my weekends digging into popular culture, looking for wisdom that had been lost about what it meant to be a man. Because I was starting to realize that this question, what does it mean to be a man? What's different between a boy and a man? Was somehow essential, was an essential question for a culture that had lost its way. And I still feel this way. I don't actually see anything in our culture that could possibly be more important than to stably and consistently and reliably transition boys to manhood. It's been an issue in my current home country of Sweden, where gangs have been proliferating in the cities. As you can see, I'm rural, so it's not really much of an issue for us. But gangs have been proliferating in the cities. And in order to prove that they're strong, little children are now volunteering to go assassinate people. And so child murders, like children killing adults and possibly other children, has become a big problem in Sweden because boys don't understand that killing someone isn't evidence of manhood. Like there is this equation between killing and manhood that is uh, obviously false. So we need to understand this better. What is the difference between being a boy and being a man? It's been a huge question in my own life, and I think I've come a long way in becoming the man that I always wanted to be. Obviously, becoming a husband and a father is a big deal in that conversation. You can't escape that. A lot of men are trying to, though, through red pill movements of saying that women aren't worth it or just escaping into virtual worlds of computer games or whatever it might be. But the centrality of this theme of becoming a man remains and is maybe even more important now as we stand very close to the breakout of World War III. But I've been speaking about World War III for like 10 years when I started to understand that forces in the collective were moving that way. So my struggle is that we've been engaged in men's work now for decades and trying to come back to what it means to be a man, following leaders like Robert Bly and Robert Moore, John Eldridge in the Christian world, John Lee is one. Yeah, all kinds of people who have shared their passion for this particular topic. And obviously, it's done something to us. We've grown. And I gratefully was able to contribute to this process myself with hundreds of men as I've been leading Reclaim Me in a Throne and other trainings. But here we are, and men's work is more popular than maybe ever. And we're all, doing cold, cold immersion practice. Hopefully more and more men are going to the gym, even though I'm not sure if that's actually happening, but in my circles, it certainly is. And we're becoming stronger because we're starting to understand that being a man is deeply connected to strength. And you cannot ever separate manhood from strength. You can't be weak and be man. It's just not possible. You have to be strong. But What if that strength is weaponized against you? What if somebody is misrepresenting reality to such a point that all of that strength that you're building is actually turned into a weapon that will destroy and hurt you, or destroy you? In terms of masculine archetypes, one of the things that I've really come to see over the last years is that the supremacy of the warrior archetype in the field of power has really vanished. And it's now the magician that distorts reality, misrepresents it in such fashion that warriors can actually go to war against themselves, because the reality that they come to believe in because of the deception, the tricksterish deception of the magician, that takes them into self-destruction. And I'm looking now at Europe, that somehow believes that it needs to go to war in Ukraine. And somehow all of these people that would be offended if somebody spoke over them at a dinner table, or like if there was a slight little offense, they would like be all butthurt about it. But all of a sudden they are like warriors. They want to go to war. It's important to go to war. So there is this theme of weak people being excited about war. And this is, of course, an archetypal theme. Like the warrior comes out of the shadowy places where it's never actually been explored or embodied, and now it takes over because there's no holding capacity for those energies in these people. But at the same time, there are all of these strong men that are like feeling this rising need to mobilize, to build armies. And some of them are starting military training because they want to defend their country and so on and so forth. But it's a magician deception. And I would say it's a satanic deception. Because Satan is a trickster, a magician. Now, I realized, I don't know, 5 years ago, finally, how the world really works. And prior to that, I was really building all of my intellectual insights and all my men's work on my background as a child of an academic family. And I took my logic and rationality and analytical capacities very seriously. And I didn't want to be a kook. I didn't want to be like crazy. I wanted everything to be founded in clearly articulated thoughts that could be like attributed to various thinkers and traditions of philosophy or whatever it might be. And then towards the end of 2020, was it? I think it was 2020. I mean, it was COVID. And my now wife, Michelle, she was in Hong Kong. Her dad was dying of cancer. And things were really crazy at the time. Travel, everything was restricted. Norway was really strict during COVID. Norway went mad. And I was laying there that night. It was an intense night where fears came from, where demons of the dark came from. Wasn't really sure if I would ever see Michelle. I didn't know where the world was going. It was this, and there was like a spirit that came over me in which I finally fully understood that evil is real. And that what was animating the COVID pandemic wasn't some sort of clumsy, heroic effort to contain a virus. It was actually an attack on humanity. I realized that then. And I couldn't sleep that night at all because I didn't have a frame of reference for that kind of evil. I didn't realize I lived in that kind of world. And I see the same evil again now with how Europe is mobilizing for war in Ukraine. It's deception. It is satanic. And it is weaponizing strong men against themselves on the premise that politicians are these heroic, noble, clean people that are wanting to defend their nation. But even the idea of a nation state has generally been abandoned by our politicians right now. And they are building a world without borders. They're building a technocracy without any borders. And so they don't give a damn about our countries whatsoever, but they use the myth of the nation state to get strong men to be willing to sacrifice their lives for a satanic cause. It's evil. It's like evil at a level that I cannot comprehend it. Like this was supposed to be like some prophetic stuff that was written about in the Bible, but it's happening. And maybe the Bible was right all along. Maybe that's what's happening. And so as a men's coach and a leader in this space, albeit somebody who has been a little bit fumbling over the past several years because of the very things that I'm talking to you about, I'm just wondering, how can we make men strong without building them up to go kill themselves for a satanic cause in some stupid manufactured war that is manufactured for the singular purpose of hurting Europe and putting us into a digital control grid in a technocratic, dystopic shithole. I know people can't see it because they can't see it, you see? Maybe they don't have connection with God. Maybe they don't have transmission. Maybe they don't have grace. I don't know, but they don't see it. And I need them to see it. We need them to see it because this is deception at the highest level. This is satanic deception at the highest level, which is now pulling men into the trenches where they will die for no reason whatsoever. And then men's work becomes weaponized to facilitate that process. And these people are going to think that, oh, I'm so strong now, and now I can be a hero defending my nation, a nation that practically doesn't even exist anymore. This is my struggle. And I want to support men. I want to support you if you're still watching this and you're a guy. Be strong. But I think you cannot work directly with building strength in the warrior sector without becoming liberated from lies and deception in the magician sector. Because we're up against a formidable deception. And the more traps you fall into along the way, the deeper into that matrix you're stuck. Yeah. We're in a precarious situation, guys. And I feel there is a light growing with more and more people understanding this. And that is so amazing. Because if there is a darkness, there is also a light. There has to be. If this is a world governed by dualism, there needs to be a polarity, a balance between good and evil. So obviously there's a light growing. I feel it. I feel it in myself. Like our family life here is like divinely inspired. It's amazing. It's like life can be so good. If only we investigated the very foundations of the beliefs that we have, this planet would be paradise practically overnight. And it will be. But we need to get through this mad deception first. And I just want you to take on board at least this message. Don't become powerful physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally for the singular purpose of having high-level tricksters and satanic deception weaponize that strength against you. On the stupid and asinine premise that you're going to be a hero for a country and have a statue built in your name and be part of the hard times make men strong again. It's all deception, guys. It's all deception. And that is my struggle. That too many people can't see it. Too many men can't see it. And I hope you see it. I'm recording this video for that purpose, to ensure that you see it. I hope you see it, brother. I really do. Because we need to. Otherwise, we are so screwed. We are so screwed. Our leaders are not with us. The premise that I've worked on since that night, where I understood how the world works, is that there is no horizontal battle between men and women, the left and the right, Russia and the West. These horizontal battles are not the ones that actually matter. It's the vertical battles of the so-called elites everywhere against us. It's time to see through the deception. Now, I just needed to make this video. I may make more videos like this. Tell me if this is helpful or not. Maybe this is freaking you out. You think I'm crazy. I assure you I'm not. Or maybe this is like what you needed to hear for a long time. Whatever the case is, leave or subscribe. But let's wake up and discover that kingdom of beauty and God here on planet Earth. Big thoughts. I'll leave you with that. Have a great day.